Good day. Welcome to Ken's Hobbies. Well, most of my stuff has come in for putting this server together. I'm just still waiting for one item. I'm still waiting for the RAM. But everything else has arrived. There is my new cooler fan. There's my new CPU. And there's my old fan from the one in it. That's space for that. There's my CD-ROM. And my two hard drives. Okay, now we just gotta figure out. Let's start by get our plate here, center cross plate open here. Take that off so we got an open view here of what's going on here. I see a little dust on the video card here. We're gonna clean that off. I'm just going to quickly brush everything off here. Okay, we got it brushed down. Oh, we want to get the air hose. Make sure, it would help if the air was on. Oh, we have a set of keys here. I'll be dipped. Tells me that we have a double locking feature to this. Okay, now we got that blown out. As you can see, quite a bit of dust came out of that. Let's get this in here and have a look how this cooler is mounted on here. Now, what did that drop? I heard something drop. Guess we'll find out as we go what it was, because I can't see anything. Okay, make sure the dust is off of this. Whoa, wow. Well, as you can hear, you can't hear yourself think or say anything when that compressor kicks in. I'm trying to figure if I should make a wall, which is why I put the compressor over that corner there, because I'm thinking of making a wall and putting soundproof insulation in it so that it can quieten that thing down, so one be able to communicate in here when there. Let's get back to this thing. First thing we gotta do is we're going to get the rod and alcohol and clean the old thermal paste off the plate here. We're going to use see how good this works. We're going to use the brush that came with when I repaired my speakers. So I don't have any long tip, what do you call them, Q-tips left anymore, so we're going to give this a try. See how well it'll work. And let it soak down here. Oh, that's where all my rags are disappearing to. Okay, we're flushing off fairly good. Tap CPU number 1. Make sure it's clean. Okay. You want to keep rubbing alcohol cap open, so we'll close that, put that aside for now. Shit, before I get it done, I'll lose all my water. Yeah, son of a... I gotta get the right cap for this. I lost everything I just gained. Maybe I'll turn this upside down. Probably work better. Okay. Now where did I put my thermal paste? I think I put it here. A little hiding place. Bought me a new tube just in case there, because according by the looks of this, that dried out. That can't move. It's been quite a while since I used this. Oh, I see. Okay, that's a cap. Okay. Get that. Oh yeah. Well, just enough thermal paste in that left for one use, and just made it at that. Okay. Now, I figure if I can remember which direction this fan and how I determine the directions, I look for where the CPU fan plugs in, and that tells me a direction in which to go. Can't quite see in here, so I'll grab my old flashlight. And I see one there, and the other one there. Okay. So we see that the CPU for fan number 1, or for CPU number 1, it plugs here. No. Well, you almost gotta have Japanese fingers for these in places. they put things. Okay, now I can rough this out, and we can see that we can put that this direction. It matches the mountain hole. Let's get that first screw started so we can line this up. Recall where my Phillips screwdriver is. Yeah. Yeah. Screwdriver is that a Phillips? And my eyesight is getting so bad I can hardly tell anymore. Ah, that's feeling better. Okay, that's good. Now back it off. Now we can line kitty corner to it. Kitty corner tells me it's right there. Oh boy, how to get it stay there. Hold the light there so I can see what I'm doing. Put some pressure down, and let's back this one off just a bit more. Okay. Now, I have found in my experience, always best go crisscross. If you start here, and you're using screw, go to the opposite side, then over here, and finally over there, or vice versa this way. As long as it's an X like that. I don't fully tighten them until I get them all started. Oh. Ah. Too much tension on this one yet to get that last one started. So back the tension off. There we go. Now we got it started. Okay, we'll tighten it from there, and now we'll come back to this, and same pattern, letter X. And now we can go fully tight on that one. And the last one. There's our first one in place. Now just laid down. Okay, now we'll come to our second one. Second one, let's see now. No one interlocks with that one. Huh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay, that lifts up. Okay, this should be a plastic piece here, which it is. Which way does it pop out? Ah, I actually got it right this time round. Usually I end up breaking those things trying to get them off. Okay, there's our new CPU. Oh, golly. Every time I cut my fingernails, that's when I need them, so we'll just get the old dependable knife out They sure well wrap them. And boy, this one's also taped up. Okay. What do we have here? I wished I could read this. That is so small that I need a magnifying glass to read what it says. I swear, I said it before and I'll say it again. I swear, they think the older we get, the better our eyesights get, and the smaller the damn writing gets. Heat conduction extract. The Viking keygen for LED CPU cooler used. Oh, is that? Well, you mean I didn't have to order paste, eh? That's what it appears that I would say is what that's meaning. So here's our new processor. Now, all through my electronic years, I've always been taught, look for where your number one pin goes. That is the key to the whole thing and which direction this goes. I can't tell which would be our number one pin. When I put my fingers in these holes, they look like they're mismatched, making it so that you can't put this in wrong. Okay, let's have a closer look at our socket. Okay, we have 2 pin points there and 2 pin points there. Those ones, okay, we have a little bit of an indication here. This one's at an angle, that corner's at an angle. There's there, so it looks like, when I look at the back side here and you turn it around, it looks like it appears to go on this way. We're going to have a look and check it out very gently, because there's a little arrow on this side which indicates number one, and that was the way it went, dropped right in place. Perfect. Okay, we'll close our little lid, put our clips down, reverse to what you undid them with. Okay, so there we have our second CPU. Now we have the center mounting bracket for bolting this down. In this case we don't need it because this bracket goes on the back side of the motherboard, and in this case, when we look, we see it's built in already. This is why I had to take this off in order to get the measurements of those 4 holes. So this is the one I ordered for it. Let's just check and make sure before we put any medicine on that it'll fit, and that all fits in perfect. Okay, plans this direction, plans that direction. Well, perfect. Now I got a question about this fan. To me, that appears like it could be a very noisy fan. We're going to find out once we fire this up how bad it is. I may decide to use a different fan entirely. We'll see how it works. Let's have a look at this little package, see what we have in it. This has got my curiosity up. I'm going to find the answer, then I'll know for sure. Well, by George, it's exactly what it is. Okay, so I did not have to buy another tube of paste, but it doesn't hurt to have extra. Well, I'll be dipped. Okay, we'll clean this. Mix this off on the back side of this. No. Get that around. We're gonna a little bit easier to start the second one over the first one. I don't know how well this is showing up on camera. I tried to set it up so that you could see what I'm doing. Yeah, Why can't they make these all the same? One uses a one style common and the other one uses Phillips. That's about the 12th call today, and out of the 12, 11 of them canceled on arrival. And who's paying for that? Us taxpayers. And there we have it. Number 2 is in position. All we have to do now is plug our CPU wire in for the fan. Where did I see it? I seen it, now I lost it. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Found it again. Okay, we're gonna use our wire. I try to keep the wire short and neat and narrow as possible. So that looks like the best position of it. Okay, so there we have number 2 in. What does it say on this cabinet about our present RAM that's in this thing? Have a look at this block diagram here. For the moment, I'm reading what this. I'm going to take DIMM 3 and 4 and switch them to 1 and 2 for now till my new RAM lies. So say 1 and 2, and that's a good idea. So this says this is 3 and 4. We're going to move these over into 1 and 2. And it says the front ones here are 1 and 2. Now I'm going to see if I can't alter. Yeah, I can hook that lead there. I don't like seeing wire riding against that's one, any of these chips. I'd rather see a little bit of a space on them, so I'm going to try to get a better bend in this. That's good stuff. That's better. Now we got an air gap between there. This is what I was talking about. I don't like seeing that riding against those chips. That's why I made a air gap there, so air can flow around it. Okay, number 2. It helps if that is in the open position. Okay, so according to that block diagram, my theory is it starts with this, continues with this to the rest of the board. Now we're going to start with our CD-ROM here. These appear to be our 2 wires for our CD-ROM, which calculates as to why that fan is designed that way. And the arrows show that it is. Looks like that's it. Well, that's the only way to find out. Okay, it does have to go from the back side. I took it all out, but that's been so long ago. I've got to figure it out now. Again, in reverse, how it goes back in. Oh, wait a minute. That has a notch there, and I see a groove notch there, so it appears to me like it goes this way. Aha! And that lines up perfectly. So that was the way it went. Now our power wire with our little L, looks like it goes just like that, And now our SATA cable. Where'd you go to? Right there. And our SATA cable. Should go there. We can use our SATA cable for a little advantage. And okay, that's looking good. Okay, that's back in place. Okay, now what do we have here? That looks like for a video card, which we don't need. Those look like we don't need. Ah, there you're hiding. I found it. The original one. Figured one screw dropped in here. I couldn't find it when I was looking for it. And I just so happened to find it now. That's why I always have spares. Every time I take a unit off apart, I have a tendency to keep everything from that unit. And my goodness, I have to get needle nose pliers to get in there to get it. First half of it, and you drop behind that hole. Stupid wire is in the road, preventing me from wanting to get at it. Let's get you out of my way. And there we got it. Okay, where am I now? Hard drives. I gotta figure now which one of these is our first port. That'll be our operating one. Okay. Fan, blow the air that way. Fan, blow the air that way. Done. Done. Okay, let's have a read what it says about hard disk number 1 is the closest to that way. Hard disk number 1 is our first one here. See, it's this one here. This is rather unique styling. Get them out of the way. You gotta lift this plate up. Does it come off or does it just swing up? Swings up and out of the way. Oh, I see. Okay, let me get you out of the way, sir. You're number 1. Get you on this side. Now this is our power wire. Aha. Rather a tight location. Okay, now we gotta figure out how are these hard drives mounted in here. There's only the one in here. Now we gotta figure this section out. Okay, it looks like it goes from the front, and this front piece comes off. Oh, this is why I gotta sit down, because this just gets too hard on my back. And I am so limited this way. So, let's sit down here. Get this. Aha! Now, see. We have mounting plate. Okay. Okay. ISO backups written on this. I think that's the only reason I put it in there, to first originally check this out if it flashed. And now I gotta try to remember. Oh, I see. It just lifts up. Okay. I always gotta visualize which way it goes. Okay, that drives there. So this I want it as my operating system. We gotta do a little modification, seeing this is an SSD drive. So if those are that way, this hard drive was sitting originally that way. So we gotta come up with a plan here. How much room do I have? I think that's what I will do here. I got this. Okay, I'm gonna make a hole here. I'm gonna drill a hole here so I can put a screw in there. What I think I'll do on this side, we're gonna make a spacer. I have an old pile of old tabs for motherboards when installing motherboards. I think I'm gonna make a set there. We'll put it in there, and that should solve my problem for our SSD drive. It's more than what I need for an operating system. It's 250 gigabyte drive. But like I say, all you're using is an operating system on it. That's what we'll do. So I'm going to shut the camera off here while I figure out if it's going to work, which I can't see why it won't work. I may have to put a spacer in here, square that off. Okay, we're going to start. I'm going to pause the camera at this point here. I'll show what it's like when I get it figured out. Okay, well, I got it to work. I have a long enough screw here. It goes in. I've already tested. There's enough pressure there to hold it exactly where I want it. But when I come putting it in, I came across an issue. I have 3 large hard drives. My son recommended I put all drives in here. So as you see, I've got a little more dismantled here. What a task it was to get these wires off of that terminal in that tight corner down in there, where the main power lead feed to the motherboard here. Furthermore, remember the SATA cables here. The cover says these 3 SATA ports are all for the hard drives, these 3 blue ones, and these are all extra SATA ports. As I said, I got 3 hard drives in that unit, and I purchased this one. Now, the breakdown, this new one, 6 terabytes. In my present unit, back here, I got the 10 terabyte here, and an 8 terabyte here. My original plan was saying, okay, those 2, 8 and the 10 out of here, and leave the 4 terabyte in here. The last one here, last green tab here, is my 4 terabyte. So take these 2 along with that one, put them in this one. Now I get that, it gives me an option. The option is to make my new drive and split 2 partition tables on it to put my OS on that one and the balance for data. The other choice, and what I'd like to do, take my SSD, trying to figure out where to mount. Furthermore, the other issue I got is I only got 2 of these brackets that come with the unit. So this is the reason I pulled these wires off here. I was going to look like there was 1 screw here, and looked at the back. I can't tell whether they're riveted or whether they're screwed. Took my screwdriver, tested it out. Seems that they are riveted. My idea was take the SSD drive, we'll drill 2 holes in the case here, bolt my SSD drive to this metal plate, giving me the 2 free spaces here for 2 of my 3 hard drives. Therefore, I would use my 10 from my old unit, the new drive of 6, giving me a total of 16 terabytes. The other option is I update the power supply, because this power supply only has 1, 2, 3 terminals to support 3 drives. The issue is this is a special power supply, because this clump of wires here is for what controls this second CPU. Doesn't leave me much option but to go with this. Therefore, eliminates to my 10 on this, my 6 on this, and my OS on that. That's about the only option I got left. Once this is all in here, pretty well leaves it to the way manufacturer it was when it came from the manufacturer. So that is the only way I can see doing it. Like I said, the only other option is get a different power supply. So that being said, I'm going to continue to try to figure out how to get this plate out, because I don't want to be drilling here, filings getting into any of the circuitry. Although I could put a gentle bit of air blowing this direct continuous. Once again, I'm just going to pause the camera here, and anyway, I'm going to pause it while I continue figuring this problem here, how to mount my SSD drive to that portion of the case. Okay, well, I figured out, put a piece of paper here, drilled 2 holes out, and Now we're going to mount this. So we'll slide my 6 terabyte out and see if we got my holes lined up right. Usually I end up missing the holes completely. You can't even see where they are. Always fun and games. Okay, we're there. So much reflection comes back off the... Okay, get that one lined up. Should be able to get our screw started. And that one started good. Now, did I hit or did I miss? Okay, let's get this light a little bit of... Looks like I am... Should be okay, but can't tell. Do I have a little nail or something? I'll do a little screwdriver. Now I can feel where it is. Okay, I'm mixing this. Okay, and now a bit out. Like I said, never hit these things 100%. Okay, so we gotta go a little bit bigger on the holes so that they balance out. One just about needs robotic hands, or Japanese hands, like we used to always say. Japanese fingers to work on this stuff nowadays. Where's my piece of paper? Right there. Get this back in here. I'm going to make these holes a little larger. Same thing like the back one. Draw this one towards me. This one away from me. Check that. Well, get rid of the... Let's see if we made any difference. We'll just go to screw, right? Oh. Come on, screw. Yeah, I can't. I wished I could see properly. See, it's there. Ain't that one started? Looks like it might start. You can see it now. Gotta touch this one a bit more yet. Towards me. You should start right there. Okay. It sure gets warm in here. On the hot side towards the east. Where did I put my Phillips screwdriver now? I could have swore I had it out here. Aha! There you are. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, problem should be solved. First data drive in. Perfect. That's what we're after. I'm not going to take my 10 out until I've got this up and running. And that'll be the last item in here. 10 terabyte drive out of my old one, the new RAM. Now to put everything back together. And this is a real jigsaw puzzle. Because this fan, go back in here, all these wires curve into all these curves, snap. And I discovered one wire here that isn't connecting. When I follow it, I see it's a little switch here. So when the door takes off, or is open, I should say, apparently I guess this shuts the power off, but I can't find where it plugs it. It's just laying in here. in the process of putting things together, I'm going to keep my eye open for that. So the first thing I do is get these out of the way so that I can swoop this. How I did this, curved it up in the center, tucked it under the clip, and same with this end. That's back in place. This is the fun part, where it was a real issue getting it out. Now we got to get it back in. We'll start with the first one, which goes there, the main one. And now you see what the issue is. Get your hands in there. Okay, put that in. Okay, looks like we've got it. Now let's get this jigsaw. Shoot. Cut my mic off from where I had it. Let's start. We gotta get this fan plugged in first before putting it in. Okay, that's in. Now to get it into place. Oh yeah. Now tell me you're not going to go in now with that harness back in there. You're going to have to go whether you want to or not. To work you in there. There we go. Okay. Now, all these were all back loop here. Remember, this was a fun one, getting it off. Okay, which was which? Well, there we have it. Got it all figured out. Well, as the camera acted up, eventually shut. It got so bad on the noise, I had to shut it off completely, so eliminating the rest of the putting the wiring harnesses back in place. That being said, we're going to close this video off, and don't forget, do like and do subscribe. Till the next time, all the best. Bye for now.